let's talk about Governor Mike Braun, the Indiana governor, because he is being proactive for Indiana when it comes to the WNBA and the surrounding area in Indiana being able to maximize their money when it comes to the WNBA All-Star Game.
Did you catch what Governor Braun just pulled off for Caitlin Clark? In a bold political power play, he approved a bill granting the WNBA equal tax incentives as the Super Bowl. This smart financial move might revolutionize women's basketball.
Of course, that's going to be at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, where Caitlin Clark has been playing for the Indiana Fever. And of course, that's why the WNBA is having it in Indiana, is because of Caitlin Clark, right?
That's right, Indiana is going all in on the WNBA All-Star Game headed to Indianapolis. Thanks to Clark's rising influence, the state predicts this event will bring in nearly $400 million for the local economy. Clark is now such a force that she's shaping state laws. Her influence reaches well past the court, changing the economics of women's pro sports.
The WNBA can now access state and local tax breaks for the 2025 All-Star Game related events in Indianapolis this summer, following a new law Governor Mike Braun signed Tuesday. That action will make bringing the event to Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark's backyard in July cheaper for the WNBA.
This isn't just a small political play. It's a groundbreaking move placing women's sports alongside the top men's leagues in the nation. Governor Braun approved Senate-enrolled Act 314, creating historic financial support for women's professional athletics.
Expanded the Indiana law that already allowed these tax exemptions on property revenues and expenses for events like NFL Super Bowl, the NCAA men's and women's Final Four, and the NBA All-Star Game, which was held in Indianapolis last year. Under the state law, events for these major sports leagues are still subject to income taxes for
the first time in history, the WNBA is getting identical tax benefits to NFL Super Bowl events, full exemptions from all state and local taxes for the entire 2025 All-Star weekend, including the Marion County Excise admission tax, which normally claims a large share of event revenue. This wide-reaching exemption applies to everything from ticketing to merch, food and drinks, enabling the WNBA to keep substantially more revenue throughout the entire All-Star Weekend celebration.
Senate-enrolled Act 314 also exempts the WNBA from all local taxes under the Marion County admissions tax, according to fiscal analysis of the law.
This law acknowledges that women's basketball can fuel economic growth just as strongly as any major sports event, said Representative Craig Snow of Warsaw, who led the bill in the House. We're beyond just talking about uplifting women's sports. We're showing it through real financial commitment.
Tax-exempt language in SEA 314 was originally included in a different piece of legislation, but lawmakers made it a standalone bill to help reach Braun's desk ahead of the start of the All-Star Weekend ticket sale.
The bill's path through the legislature shows how seriously lawmakers took women's basketball, once part of broader legislation. They singled it out as its own bill to guarantee approval before WNBA All-Star Weekend tickets went on sale. A level of urgency usually saved for emergency actions. What makes this law truly historic is how it redefines the connection between government and women's sports. By giving up millions in tax dollars, Indiana is boldly betting on women's basketball as a real economic engine for a league seeking financial strength. This tax shift is a game changer.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is scheduled in downtown Indianapolis in July and is the first time the city has hosted the league's All-Star Game. The events that weekend are expected to include the three-point contest, skills challenge on July 18th, and the All-Star Game on July 19th.
That's right, mark your calendar, and this bipartisan support marks a major shift in how states perceive women's sports, evolving from symbolic gestures to recognizing the WNBA as a top-tier event with the power to drive serious economic impact.
State Rep. Craig Snow Republican Warsaw, who sponsored SEC 314 in the House, said in March that the law will, quote, allow for the WNBA All-Star Game to take advantage of the same state tax exemptions that has been enjoyed by other marquee events that have been lured to Indiana that produce a strong economic impact. Obviously, it's a huge impact.
By signing this bill, Governor Braun has effectively stated that the WNBA warrants the same financial treatment as top men's leagues. The timing lines up perfectly with the rising wave of women's basketball popularity, putting Indianapolis in a prime spot to benefit from what may become the most watched WNBA All-Star Game ever. This law marks a total shift in how states have approached women's sports. Instead of sidelining women's basketball, Indiana is making a calculated economic move that could boost local business while lifting the WNBA to new heights as a major league deserving Super Bowl-level financial status.
The impact of these tax exemptions on state and local governments is undeterminable, a fiscal analysis of the bill said, but any potential revenue hits could likely be offset by the economic boost from visitors traveling to Indianapolis for the WNBA All-Star Weekend event.
That sharp economic move by Governor Braun? Let me break down numbers that would make Wall Street investors envious. What we're seeing here isn't just a basketball story. It's a 22-year-old rookie triggering a financial shockwave that's redefining Indiana's economy in ways no one saw coming.
Now, keep in mind, the All-Star Game got 3.5 million viewers last year. It was far and away the highest-rated WNBA All-Star Game ever.
And it's all because of Caitlin Clark. But that's just the start. Since she signed with the Indiana Fever, ticket sales at Gainbridge Fieldhouse have soared over 200%, nearly tripling nightly attendance. This boom in fans is only the beginning of a much broader economic surge rolling through Indiana right now.
During Clark's rookie season last year, the Indiana Fever had a 246% rise in ticket sales at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Like a financial spark, Clark has ignited an economic shift so powerful, the entire state government rethought its approach to women's basketball. She's turned it into a major economic driver, fueling millions in local revenue, creating new jobs, and surpassing all prior tax projections. The shift is stunning. Indianapolis, long known as the basketball capital, had never seriously pursued hosting the WNBA All-Star Game before Clark. Now they're rolling out infrastructure usually saved for Super Bowl-level events with the same planning teams, resources, and investments, all triggered by one athlete rewriting the playbook.